For those who are new here and don't know what Angel Project is, we partner with multiple counties, Perquimans, Pasquotank, and Camden. All of the schools and the social workers, they help us identify students and their families who are in need. And so then we have the opportunity to collect information like clothes size, shoe size, and some of the things that they wish for. And we put it on cards, and then you can go and select a card. We post them up on the wall, and you register the card, and then go and shop for your little angel and bring it back, all your gifts wrapped, and we deliver it to the schools in December on the 17th. So what the Angel team does, it starts actually in like September, just after school starts, and we reach out to the school counselors so that they can help us identify who's going to be in need, and they start gathering all of that information. They put it into a spreadsheet and send it to us, and it's so many little things that everybody contributes to. It's printing out the cards, hanging them up. We do a lot of things to organize all of the space that we have so that we can bring the gifts in and keep it. The hardest part is just keeping everything organized so that we can take it to the schools and all of the students actually get the right thing. So it takes a lot of organization and a lot of hands and a lot of counting and keeping track of each of the cards. So a really important part is when you do take a card that you take a picture of it, or make sure you keep it, because we need to keep track of that as we're delivering all of the gifts. So initially my wife came to Forest Park. We were both searching for a church and a community that would both be accepting of us and that we felt comfortable with. And she loved the sermons that Scott was giving and told me I had to come. And it was right before Angel Project started. And so I came a couple of times, and when I walked in and saw those cards all up on the window, it just, I feel emotional talking about it now, but like that was when I knew this is home. Like this is where I'm meant to be. And Angel Project, it's the reason I stayed, and then it's been the bridge for me to friends and just feeling like I belong here. Angel Project is so near and dear to my heart just because I was on the other side of it. I was a recipient of a very similar project in the church where I grew up, and it had such an impact on me. I grew up with a single mom. She suffered with severe depression and was trying to raise all 5 of us kids by herself. And life was just hard, and we didn't have a lot. We didn't have a lot of money. We were often in survival mode, and we benefited so much from things like food stamps and Medicaid, and very frequently the generosity of our church, and that included things like Angel Project. I knew never to ask for things. You know, we want stuff as kids, but I knew my mom couldn't afford it. I knew, you know, it was going to be hard for her to say no again and again, and so we just didn't ask. But Christmas time was one time a year where we got to have some wishes, and our church community made those wishes come true, and it made me feel so loved and seen, and I didn't know who they were. So these people who gave, you know, without having their name tied to it, it wasn't about that, it was about serving. It made such a big impact in my life, just in feeling that confidence and feeling like no matter what, somebody had my back. And I was able to go to college, I have a great career, and now I get to be on the other side of it, and I get to give, and I get to serve, and it just means the world to me to be able to do that. And I know that all of these kids, it's gonna have that same impact on them. It doesn't seem like it, you know, oh, they just want a football or a video game or whatever, but for kids who don't have those things, it makes such a big difference for them when they finally do. You know, it can mean fitting in at school, not being the loner, and it can make such a big difference. I think one of the special things about Angel Project is that we don't meet any of these kids. And so what that does is it forces us to trust that God is guiding us to what these kids need and guiding us to do whatever it is that's going to be the right thing. And that part can be hard, you know, like sometimes it's so gratifying to see the impact directly. And I think that's one of those things that really, it takes faith to be part of this project, because we don't get to see that direct impact. Even, you know, we get to deliver all of these gifts to the schools, but it just goes to the school, and then the schools, they figure out how to get it to the kids themselves. And so we don't meet them, but I like that part of it, just because it does require that faith and that trust in God that whatever we're doing is gonna be the right thing. And we don't have to see the direct impact. I mean, the people who gave to me, they don't know how big of an impact that had on me. They just trusted and they did what was right. And sometimes I struggle with that. Like, I want to see the impact, but I think that's such an important part of this, is just that trust in God. There's also a huge impact just on us, on the people that are involved. It feels good to give, and that spreads. And I think another important part of this, we've been getting, it's not just Forest Park who participates in this. Other community members come in, whether they want to stay and go to church here or not, they want to be involved in this. And I think that has been a special part. I know especially last year we had a lot of people that came and they wanted to help us do the delivery, and they came and shopped for Angels. And it's not just our community, but it's the whole community. I mean, it's multiple counties, and all of that just keeps spreading. And I think that's a really important part of a service project like this. If you're new or haven't been in any kind of service here at Forest Park yet, and you don't know if you want to commit to something, this is a good place to start. If you want to just come, it's just for the season, you can get involved and help us do all the things behind the scenes for this project, and then you can come back next year if you love it, and you can also explore other ways to serve. And I think this is a really good starting point, and it's where I got my starting point, and then I was able to branch out and help with the camera team, and it got me where I need to be in Forest Park.